What is good, you guys? Welcome back to my channel and my podcast. Thank you so much for being here. So, I want to get into this quote that came from an email that I shared with you guys. I want to say about last week, but I've been thinking about it for quite some time and I'm like, let's just get right into it. So, the quote was, "Thoughts only create illusions when you believe you are them." And what they're saying is when you believe that you are your thoughts. And we know thoughts in themselves can be tricky. So I want to talk about this a little bit. So let's just get straight into the meat and potatoes here. I want you to understand that the problem with when you believe that you are the thoughts themselves and not the power in which these thoughts appear, you believe in two powers, not one. You believe in two gods and not one. So there is only one power that creates, and that is I am. We know that that's the ultimate state of being. We've talked about this a million times. And I want you to understand that I am is not a thought, it is all power. I am is that statement, that declaration that when you say it, you're standing in that power, claiming it and calling it forth. I am is what puts the battery in the back of the thoughts and powers the thought. But thoughts of themselves on their own are empty, right? So believing every thought that comes through creates unnecessary suffering, self imposed limitations, and distorted perceptions of reality, which we call illusions. And most of your problems are not real, but just stories that your mind made up. So it's not the fact that you have a problem, it's the thoughts themselves that are the problems. You believe in an idea, you believe in a thought, and then you've made that your state of being. So, why do we believe in thoughts? And the truth is, people assume that if they think something, that it must be true. And of course, that is an assumption. But like Abraham Hicks says, beliefs are just thoughts you keep thinking over and over again. But the truth is, you guys, there are no secret thoughts. All thoughts that could ever exist, ever will exist, have always existed, are floating around in consciousness. So you've never been thinking anything new. Every single thought that exists is already in consciousness and they're all floating around for us to play with. So if you can see this is that it's something that exists for all of us in the ethers and we're just playing with these thoughts, that they are not us, but we get to choose them. We get to consciously choose them, right? So you're never thinking anything new. But if you think that you're the mind, you're going to think that every single thought that drops into your awareness is yours and you're claiming every single thought. So you see how you could get easily caught up in circumstances. So the consequences of believing every thought leads to overthinking and self-sabotage, right? So you can easily be led into mind identification, into separation, and you start identifying with the mind and forms which keep your focus out into the 3D, out into the world, right? Out into the past. And it distorts reality. So, example, someone doesn't text you back or immediately acts like you think that they should based off of the narratives that you've made up off of these thoughts you think, and you start thinking, oh, they don't like me, they must hate me, or I'm not worthy. And so you're basing your self concept off of these thoughts. You're creating your state of being like, I'm not worthy based off of these thoughts, right? And so you easily get drawn into collective thought forms. When you believe that you are the mind, you identify with mind, identify with every single thought that comes in your awareness, you can easily get drawn into collective thought forms and you can easily be swayed to move from your center. And groupthink tends to happen a lot from this. So someone could just suggest something or project something onto you with negativity or even positivity, whatever this is, and you can easily get moved into these thought forms, these group forms. And so that takes on a life of its own, and then you start moving as one with this group instead of just standing in your power as I am and choosing for yourself, right? So you can easily get caught up in these illusions, right? So how do you free yourself from this? And I want to reiterate how mind identification creates two powers or two gods, right? So when you believe that you are the mind, you believe that it's the thoughts themselves that have the power to make you feel something, and you think that produces your state of being. And again, thoughts of themselves are empty. But when you believe in one mind, when you know this, you know your state of being is there first. And then you choose what you want to feel. And then you consciously choose the thoughts you want to entertain, right? So when you believe you're the mind, you claim every thought, every single thought that appears as truth. Then you make up a story about who you are, and that you feel that that creates your state of being, right? But when you are believing from your state of being first, you know that that's the truth, and you're more likely not to believe every single thought that shows up because you've decided who you are first, right? So remember, I want you guys to remember this. If you remember nothing else about mind identification and thoughts, remember that I am is always that ultimate state of being, all power. It powers the thoughts. So a thought can never be who you are, not even an emotion, not even a changing form, you guys. It can never be who you are. Right? Because it's that changing form. Even the good thoughts, you guys, because you could be feeling good about a thought that you're thinking, and then a circumstance happens, and now you're rocked from that, right? And that happens a lot to us. And then we start thinking, well, what did I do wrong? What am I doing? I was feeling good about this. I was thinking good thoughts about this, because your thoughts themselves don't have the power to do anything, you guys. It's because you've made the thought themselves and the feeling that came from that thought, you made that your state of being, right? So you think the thought is the state of being, and then you could easily get moved from it. So it's a changing form. It's something that can be changed and shifted, but your state of being, your identification, who you're identifying as, is always the truth. And that's always going to be there underlying no matter what thoughts pop up, you guys, right? So with that being said, you made that empty thought your state of being, right? So there's no substance in it. But remember, I am is the all power. Whoever you decide and declare yourself to be is what you are giving life to. So remember, it's state of being first always. And then you choose the thoughts that you want to entertain and confirm. Because remember, when you're saying an affirmation, you guys, for instance, you're confirming who you're saying you are, that yes, I am that. Yes, I am that. I know that I am that. I know that that's my state of being. I know that's who I am. And every time you say I am is invoking all power and pushing it into the thoughts to give the thoughts life. So remember, thoughts of themselves mean nothing. Okay? They mean nothing, have no power to do nothing, not even the emotion, not even the changing form, not anything that can actually be changed can mean that that is who you are. Remember, again, you are prior to all of that. Okay? So, with that said, I'm going to leave this video here. I just wanted to keep it simple, you guys. But remember, we get caught up into these thought forms and these illusions. We create these illusions based off of like that negative, thought, or this negative perceptions, or just every time we believe every single thought that comes into our lives, we get confused. We get confused and we go on a spiral, right? So remember, you guys, it doesn't matter. I will link my video, my perception video below, because you have to understand, no matter what you think comes up anyway, the state of being, your identification was always there first before you started feeling whatever you're feeling, right? So if you're thinking that, oh, my SP doesn't want me and now I feel unworthy, no, that unworthiness was there underlying before that thought came in, right? So same if you say that, you're rich and you're feeling rich and you're feeling wealthy. No, that state of abundance and feeling rich was there before that thought appeared, you guys. So remember, your state of being is always going to be there first, no matter if you can pinpoint it or not. You're always identifying as something. All right. So I want to leave this here. And remember, grab my self inquiry audio, Unravel, and this will help you just break free from those illusions and those thought forms that you keep living under. And also, too, don't forget that my Money Magic Masterclass is coming up on March the 8th. I want to say we got one more seat left. And my Revision Masterclass is coming towards the end of March. So don't forget to sign up for that as well. And once again, remember, you guys, that imagination is always on your side, and I am too. Bye.